Hey guys, this is Dave Cruz from the Optimum Advantage podcast. Today we have an amazing guest. His name is Duane Draughon. He's the owner of VizX, and I'm excited to talk to him today. It's good to talk to you, Duane. Just so everybody could get to know you a little bit, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do, and what does your company do?
Wow, I'm a whole lot, man. I was going to the gym, I think yesterday, and I was leaving the gym, and I just said to myself, I said, "Damn, man, I'm the man. Like my life is just the shit, Like I do a lot, you know what I mean? Business wise, we have three different businesses, my wife and myself. The main company is VizX Design Studios. We're a custom outdoor living design installation company. And so we design these really unique outdoor living spaces that mimic the architecture of the home, the lifestyle. We use really unique materials. We're not just the paver guys who just drop the pavers in and go. We use decking, metal, concrete. I mean, all kind of stuff. And then my wife has a business that's pretty neat. Is she's a woman's performance coach, so she helps high-powered women hit their authentic selves and needs and get them breakthroughs in life. And then we have another company, it's a construction company that basically does like home remodeling. And it sort of is the one that runs our installation of our pergolas and our kitchens and stuff like that. So we're starting to separate that stuff out.
Okay, how did that come about? That separation? Like, which one did you start first?
VizX is the baby. VizX is the animal that we created like 12 years ago, and then everything has spawned off that. Now, Loud Whisper is hers directly. It has nothing to do with VizX, but I mean, she's a partner of VizX, and so I'm a partner of her business too.
Of course, man. And how did you guys, or how did you get started? Like, what was the inspiration that kind of made you go, hey, you know what? Like, this is something that I want to take and do and focus all my energy on.
Dude, it really has been failures and the universe has just been dragging me along, really. I had no plans of doing none of this shit in life, really. I just none of it. I had no plans. This wasn't like when I think back as a kid and I lay in bed thinking about what I want to do in life, this had nothing to do with it. So it's crazy that
Well,
we my father had a grass cutting business, so he did grass cutting for years. I left, went to the Marine Corps. I learned architectural engineering and I mean just took like little BS dot classes. Nothing, no college degree level. It was just really just BS. And at least I thought. And I got back. I ran a paver patio business. So we did paver patios for a little bit over 9 years. And I got tired of the patio business. It just seemed like, I mean, you throw a patio in the ground, didn't matter what it looked like. I mean, not saying it didn't matter what it looked like, but it never matched the home. It was just square footage. And I got tired of that. So I got into designing and I wanted to start drawing. I got the 3D software came out and I called myself, I was going to start drawing 3D designs for contractors all across the country. And the first few contractors sent me their designs of what they wanted to draw, and they were all garbage, like just disgusting. And I didn't want no parts of it. And so I had already burnt the bridges. I had already burnt the boats and came to shore for the paper patio business. So VizX had to become something totally different. And I was like, hey, I went to school for architectural engineering. Maybe I can become a designer. So I just started studying, you mean designs and landscape and I was doing like European models and stuff in Australia, and that's sort of how I got my style. And then now we're design build because I would design it and nobody could build it, so I had to manage to build too. So that's how it evolved to what it is.
no, that's an interesting story, man. And also it's kind of funny that we're doing this on Veterans Day. So I
Yeah, yeah.
definitely got to say, thank you for your service. It's crazy to see, somebody take a completely different career path as something so structured and be able to make it a thriving, successful company like you have,
Hmm.
like I think just for the audience, as far as they can know, like I want to get into you as a person in a second. How are you doing as well, like in regards to business? Like, how long did it take you to grow to like where you're at, and where are you at in terms of like size and expansion?
Oh man, it's the business really didn't do anything. It's the business started in 2012, 2013. And it really did not do much for the first 5 years. I couldn't figure it out. Like at any given moment, like my son would like, Dad, why don't you just go back and lay patios? Like at any given moment, I could have just gone back and laid paper patios, and I just did not want to get into that business again. I still despise the paper patio business. I think it's the biggest. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off, but I think it's the biggest crook game in the business. The patio suppliers, they don't really. They're just making papers. They don't care if anything matches. They don't care. They just want to sell square footage. The homes are dropping it in. Nothing matches. Nothing works. The wall stone doesn't match the house, and the pavers don't match the house. I mean, it's just straight garbage, and they're just destroying house after house after house after house. And especially when they get that standard block, that 4 by 8 by 12, I think is what it is, and that block alone is just destroying this industry. And nobody cares. They're just dropping it in the ground, collect the check, and they're gone. I forgot my point, but I was dogging that pretty bad. I
No,
like
well,
dogging that.
yeah, listen, it's one of the like I think reasons that I've seen a lot of people that have come on here that have been so successful is they've managed to take their customer relations and focus on it. And it seems you have like a good grasp on that, where like you're really like it cares you, it matters to you, like that
Yeah.
the what comes out. You're not just trying to fill something like just to do it and be like, oh, this is a job that's done. We have a patio. So what was the hardest part about trying to fulfill that issue in the market for you,
So
that
okay, now I'm
as
back
far
to
as a
my point.
challenge?
Now I'm back to my
Mm.
point. So for years, I couldn't figure out how to get that moving. Like I would get a client here, get a client there. Actually, I even did a lot of travel then, because I was being seen. The marketing was done for. It was a national marketing campaign that we did to do 3D designs for companies. So when I switched the business model over to design only, we were still nationally recognized. Clients were calling me all over the country, which is pretty neat. I mean, I was flying all over the United States, drawing designs for people, just giving them designs. But when it really picked up is when I took over the build process, is when I said, okay, we'll design it, but we need to manage all the way through. Because what will happen is I would draw this beautiful design for a client, and as soon as they get the design, they show it to the contractor. The first thing the contractor say it can't be done, or it's too complicated, or it's too expensive to do it that way, and they would bastardize the design, destroy it, change it, and go back to the same old basic 4 by 8 by 12 blocks and the same basic pavers that has nothing to do with what we just designed. And when I took control, that's when the market started seeing what we were doing. And then, like I said, I was studying architecture and engineering. I was studying the architecture of homes, the styles, the things like that. So I really started doubling down on that, and it just took the f off. Like the business took off. It literally was like 64K one year, and then when it turned on, 1.4 million the next year. It was just like it was insane. Yeah.
See, that's the kind of thing that we love to see on here, because it's like that there's a lot of challenges as far as scaling that high. And it's incredible to be able to see people do it in that fast. Like sometimes people have problems with client acquisition or whatever, but when you have a great product, and you got something that the market really needs, I mean, it's just incredible to see things grow like that.
Yeah.
um
Fast
what was
scaling
the
is dangerous
hardest?
too. Fast scaling is dangerous too.
I just talked to somebody yesterday that had some issues with that, but what was the biggest challenge for you? I mean, was it the actual on the ground trying to, like, get everything done, or was it getting more workers to, as far as the expansion? Because I'm sure you don't do a lot of the work yourself now, right? Like you have guys that work for you.
I don't. The only thing I really do now, I've always ever since we started the VizX, I've never really done any of the work. I did it. I used to do the work when we were a paper patio business, but excuse me, as we were VizX, I didn't do anything. I do the sales and design right now. So I still meet all the clients. I still talk to the clients, and I do mostly. I'm going to say about 75% all the designs. I mean, I have another part-time designer that I'll give them. They'll draw the houses, or I'll sketch up a design that I thought was pretty dope, and I'll throw it over to them. Hey, knock it out. Because believe it or not, coming out of school, nobody can design yet. Like it's crazy. They can't design.
No, yeah. And have you seen a lot of market change as far as like with technology coming out here that's been able to help you, or maybe some challenges that people are coming out? Because I know AI is big now, where people are probably just throwing up AI designs. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen anything at that?
But we're killing the AI design game. Like we use it a lot. On pretty much every job that I design, I use AI. And so what I'll do is I'll draw it all out, and we have a template that we have designed for AI. So it explains all the colors, the styles, the materials on the house. It gives that breakdown. We throw it in there. And then we don't really use AI for the design, but we use AI for like mood boards, colors, different styles, layouts, and things like that. And then we have it create a whole bunch of mood boards, and then we create our designs. Like it might create a space, and it will say, okay, let's use that space, move it here, and put it here. But AI can't design. Like it's smart, but it still can't design. It doesn't understand space. It doesn't understand movement. It doesn't understand where the grill needs to go. It doesn't understand what they need to see outside the windows. Will it become a designer one day? I don't know. Like I think a really badass designer is just a badass designer. And I don't know if you get AI can do it. Now
Well,
it
I
can draw
think,
prints. It can draw blueprints.
yeah. No, AI is. I've always believed it's more of a tool than it is something as
Yeah.
and it needs to be in the right hands. Like an artist is sometimes irreplaceable, and I think like what AI is more capable of doing is more like enhancing what the artist can do, maybe saving the artist time, as within every other business. But yeah, it's not something that's just going to completely take things away.
Oh, dude, it comes
But
up with colors. Like it comes up with color schemes that I wouldn't have thought of. I just knocked out a house, hell, just like 2 weeks ago. It was a prairie style home. Dude, AI came out with a dope ass concept. It had like this double walls, different levels, and I wouldn't have thought of it. Like I had the walkway that it created, but I wouldn't have thought of the double walls. And I was like, "Ooh, that was bad." Like I mean, it was banging, and I just took it and drew it myself and made it work. And I did my own little enhancements. But no, I mean AI is dope. Like I said, it even came up with different styles and materials. Even the furniture game is really stepped up. So another thing sweet too is I use it now for takeoffs. So I can take my blueprints and drop it in chat gbt or something, and it did tell me how much gravel, how much concrete, how much rebar. Like it's insane on how dope that is. Like that is like, especially my deck jobs. It even told me the other day, like, I mean, it didn't talk trash like I'm gonna talk trash, but it was like, hey, bro, those post holes you have are chintzy. You got to step your game up. So it made me even give me go with bigger sono tubes. It actually made me line up more. I had a project where I had 6 posts. I ended up having to go to 9 after running through chat, and it did the weight distribution and everything. So I mean it has it, but here's the thing is it has to be used by a professional, and I think that's what is going to mess up. And I honestly think that's what messes up the 3D design industry too, is that 3D design software is out, but they don't have professionals designing it. So what happens is they get these clients emotionally tied, and they just destroy their backyard.
yeah, you need to be able to like efficiently work it. Because I mean, even something as simple as what you're mentioning, like there's NH8N workflows that you can create that like in the right person's hands. Like I know I don't know if you've heard of this, but you can create like chat gbt to, like an avatar of yourself, like your own chat gbt, where you'll tell it the specific things as an artist that you look for, or the type of style that you like. And if you just spend enough time with that AI, say it's like 3-4 hours, then even the advice that it gives you is so tailored and specific to like something you would probably choose yourself, and the kinds of things you're looking for to do, that like even the automations you're talking about. But I mean, to see you in that space already as a entrepreneur, kind of using this ahead of the game of everybody, because not a lot of people know about AI. Like not a lot of people even use it to help their business the way you do. And just to see you doing that is awesome. Like I really, we're probably one of the few guests that already has taken parts of that technology and implemented into your business. So you're
Wow.
definitely ahead of the game on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we even score. I have I don't know if you call it an app inside AI. I don't know what you call it. Like I don't know what you call it. A prompt, a folder, a file. What do you call it? Anyway, is every time we interview a specified client, we actually make them fill out a questionnaire. And the questionnaire is very in depth. I mean, it's not those little, hey, quick, my name is John, I want a patio. It's 12 different sections, and it takes me 7 to 8 minutes. And we timed it. If you've never seen it before, it'll probably take you 15. If you're very intricate, it'll probably take you 20. So it takes some time. What happens is once we get them emailed in, I actually have ChatGPT dialed up, and I can throw this into the AI. It will grade everything them, and it give them a grade. And any score above 60, they are a potential client. And anything below 60, they will tell me why they're not a client and one of the things that we can do to sort of get them to cross the line. And dude, I had one that was a 54, and I'm sort of like ballsy like this, and I think you can tell. I mean, from the beginning, I'm sort of just I just speak like sometimes I don't even think. I just go, and it's probably gets me in a lot of trouble. And that's that Marine Corps thing. But anyway, I told the client, I said, man, I said you scored a 54, dude. I said you really not clients unless you're 60. And I think he took it some type of way. Dude, it's $100,000 job. Yeah,
I mean,
$100,000 job.
I mean, it's a blessing that you're in a position to do that, but I totally understand it, because like sometimes working with a specific client, even if they do get you that 100,000, it's not worth the headache. They might not be like on your same page, and when you're making over a certain amount of money, like you really want to specify where the business is going. So like just to go off of your point, there's an AI now that you could actually take where it's like you could actually talk to it. That same test, it has all those same qualifying leads, but sometimes people don't want to like sit there, and you might lose a client because they don't want to do the questionnaire that might be a potential one. So every day the technology gets better. I actually just helped my stuff. He has a landscaping company, so I helped him implement this, and that way you don't lose out on potential jobs because the person actually could talk to it, and it doesn't just ask it like a questionnaire. Now it's gotten to the point where you could like talk to it, and it's like answering a question, and depending on the way you answer the question, it'll qualify your lead for you. And it's just used for so many things, not to get too in depth into the technology of it, but I'm just happy to see you actually doing it. It kind of shows how great you're doing in your business.
Yeah, thank you.
But other than that, I kind of want to get into you a little bit. Like, you have an interesting story. And I know you said you served. Could you talk about like, how you came up, what made you want to become an entrepreneur, and kind of what it takes to somebody that was trying to build a business like yourself? What is something that you would tell either your younger self or somebody that's aspiring in your same field of business? Like, give some keynotes in that regard.
Man, like I said, this whole life thing, dude, is I'm being pulled by the universe. I think the universe says, Dwayne, I want you somewhere. I want you to make some type of mark somewhere on this earth, and I'm gonna grab you from the middle of the hood where everybody went to jail. Everybody is having 50 million kids. Then I'm gonna make your parents make a little bit more money so you guys will be the only family to move out the hood, and you can move up like the Jeffersons, and you can move to a nice area, and then your dad's gonna get you some lawnmowers and you can start hustling the block and hustling the street, and then you get some McDonald's accounts and apartment complexes, and you can start winning awards through freaking McDonald's at 16 years old, walking to school with a pager in your hand, even though pagers and phones wasn't even loud. Like my pager would go off and be the owner of McDonald's, and I have to go to the principal's office because you didn't have a phone, make a phone call. The principal's sitting at his desk working, and he's hearing me on the phone conduct business with the owner. I mean, not the owner of McDonald's, but the franchise, and I'm talking about the flower arrangements and everything else. And he's looking like I'm still a little brother from the hood. You know what I mean? He's looking like, what is this kid doing? And then, I take off from there, go to United States Marine. I actually did 2 years active, and I had flat feet, so I got a dishonorable, and I came back home and started to run the business, and the business started growing. Even the paver patio business, man. I was at a car dealership. I had my brothers cutting grass, and I went to a car dealership to go sell some cars because one of my Marine Corps buddies came back and started selling cars. Said he can make like 10 grand a month. So I'm like, okay, I'm game. Let me do it. I get there. Another guy owns a landscape company. He's like, hey man, if you get me a paver patio, I'll get you $200. I'm like, all right. I didn't even know what a paver patio was. So I started asking all my grass cutting clients. One lady said, yeah, he went in there and made $8,000 in 1 week. He gave me the $200. And I was blown away because this lady, we charge her $800 a year and she never pays her bill on time. So how the hell did she just give him $8,000? I was like, bro, you got to show me what you're doing. So I started working with him for almost a year. I was laying patios, I was running sales appointments. He was teaching me how to market. And then one day we're at his house and hanging out, having some beer, and I saw like a drafting table. I was like, dude, that's a drafting table. He's like, man, you don't know nothing about that. I'm like, bro, I don't know about that. And it was like the black joke too. Like, man, black people don't know how to draw. I said, bro, I'm cold at this shit. I can do this. So I threw the paper down, put the T square down, and start drawing the house, and I start drawing a patio. He was like, you're not joking. I said, bro, I told you I'm not joking. And so then I started drawing all the designs for all of our patios, and they just kept getting bigger and bigger and more elaborate. Like we were putting Bose, man, we were putting Bose speakers in patios back in 1998, 1999. We were putting Bose speakers and lights inside of shit back in those days. I mean, these guys are just now catching up. I mean, we were doing outdoor kitchens back in the day too. It's crazy. And I started more and more studying, and then I could not. I started my own patio business, and it was a Paver Stone Design Group. Ran that for about 9 years, and I was like, it's time for a change. And we blew up. I mean, I did like $6 million in that business. I mean, and we did pretty well. And I wanted to do something different, and I shut everything down, moved to Chicago to be closer to my brother-in-law because he was running a very successful business here. And then VizX evolved. VizX was tough though because I couldn't figure out how to get it going. And then I was still living off that mindset that I just had a $6 million business that I sold and got rid of. I even went broke, and I had to start Uber driving. So I Uber drove for a whole year. Man, I would work the business from 7 in the morning to 1, and then from 2:30 to 10 o'clock at night every single day for a year and a half. I even worked Fridays and Saturdays and sometimes Sundays just to keep the money turning because the Uber don't really make no money, but I could pick it up that day and I could keep stuff going. So if I need to pay a bill at the house, if I need to pay a bill for the business, if I needed to close an appointment, I could cancel that day, go close a deal, go make a quick 3K, and then come back. So it was a grind, man. Grind, grind, grind.
Yeah, no, but it's that determination, like that to just keep going. That messes up a lot of people because sometimes you get put in these. People think that once you create a successful business, it's like, ah, I made it. Like I'm making enough money, but the problems just change, man.
Oh,
The
they
problems.
man, they just change and they get bigger. And I'm gonna tell you what, you're never there. You never like I don't it's always an uphill battle. Okay. And you just gotta be built for this shit. It's always an uphill battle. I mean, the year we did the most, 2.7, that was a nightmare year. Like the year that we did the most, we sold $2.7 million worth of business, and that was a nightmare. That was the year that we damn near went out of business. It was a total freaking nightmare. Everything it was just too big, too fast, and it was like it was coming at me like a garden hose, and I had no clue how to manage it. It's crazy.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about with the scaling that's too fast? Sometimes it's like you get overwhelmed.
Oh, trust me, and it happened, and you'll get overwhelmed, and it'll wipe you out 10 times faster than you built it. It almost feels like it happens overnight. And the thing is, I actually saw it coming. I was watching it coming. But I was in my back of my head, I thought that this is what you were supposed, this is what you read the stories like, man, you barely paying payroll, you barely doing this, you're hoping to get this. You're reading stories like just fight through it, fight through it, fight through it. No, man, like if I was fighting through it with the intelligence that I have now, I see it. But the problem is when I was fighting through it, I didn't have this intelligence that I have now about business. I understand business. I know I can tell you every penny that this business spends every single month. Man, I can break everything down. I have a new CFO who we go through every dollar that's spent, every budget that's spent. Are you over? Are you under? Like it's broken down. I even had to learn that um, I have what you call survivors. It's something about a survivor, and not even survivor's guilt. It's another form. Honorable survivor, is sort of where it is, where I will put my life on the line to take care of everybody, and I'll feed myself last. I even had to figure that out for myself too, because that's detrimental to me and the business. Because if I'm falling apart, the business is going to fall apart too.
No, that's an amazing insight, man. Yeah, because sometimes we carry our baggage in life and it goes right into the business, like we created like you think that like an issue is just affecting you personally, but it's a mindset. And I mean, to get that down is probably one of the healthiest things that you could do, not just for yourself, but financially.
Yeah, I'm not even a
Um,
landscape designer anymore. I'm a business owner. Like I look at
yeah.
business now, And now that I understand business, I can't help but to walk into other businesses and pick them apart. And it's not that I'm picking them apart to hurt them. I'm actually looking at starting another company called Orbits, and it's going to be a connection of business owners. I'm going to build a nucleus of business owners because I believe proximity is power. Who you're around is who you become. And so the operation is called Orbits, and it's basically going to be a circle of all different type of companies, and we'll all be able to speak, have mastermind, and talk about business. Because I really don't want other business owners to go through what I went through. Like real talk, bro. I went through points where I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I mean, if you know what I mean, without saying it. I mean, like, I don't really want too many people to go through that type of stuff. And maybe because I am a former Marine, I got that grit, but I've seen a dark side, a very deep dark side of how horrible it can be if things don't go right.
Yeah, and sometimes you get so tough as a man that you think that the answer is just to keep bottling it up. But I've gotten to that point myself, man, where you don't want to get up the next day, and it takes it takes a different kind of strength, an enlightening more. It's like like willingness to face certain things that you're just looking at them the wrong way. That's why they have that survivor's guilt, where you just like I shouldn't be here, but really you have, it's just overcoming that mindset. And
And
no, man,
there's
it's it's
so
a
much.
it's a tough. But I do want to say, like one of the things I found in life that's been the most fulfilling, and it's so crazy. I'm gonna bring this because you said this is like, any thing that I've ever like helped myself that I've gone through that has been so devastating for my life. Like I think we spoke about this previously for a bit. I lost like 50 pounds,
Yeah,
and I managed to get kind of in shape, and probably the best shape of my life, but I saw how that affected me so negatively, whether it was at work, whether it was somewhere else. And the opportunities even brought to my life that all I wanted to do was help other people. So I even started a company, changing, trying to get people in shape, because I know how something so, that people don't really value too much will change people's lives. There's people that, like yourself, you don't want to ever want to see somebody go through that. And I think one of the most important things in life is being able to, if you can have a job where you're fulfilling your purpose in life, which I believe to be like helping others not go through the pain that you went through. I think that's one of the most honorable things that you can do as a man.
yeah, yeah. But
So
don't you think there's we you and I talked about that. We're talking about weight loss because um I am I am 64 pounds down. I think it's the number. I just did my
congratulations.
yeah, and I have like a high-end dude, like a Dr. Flerde is his name, and I actually go see him every Friday. And so we do a metabolic test. I mean, it's some expensive shit. Um, and we just did a bod pod. I'm thinking like 24% body fat. Like I was like way up there before he started. I don't remember the number. Actually, I don't have it here, but I don't remember the number. But my body fat was insane when like I was dying, dude. I was diabetic. I mean, A1C was at 14 and the chart stops at 10. You mean the A1C chart stops at 10. I was at 14. And all what happened was I was actually going for my pilot's license. And the FAA basically said at these levels, we're not giving you nothing. And so that was my motivation. I was like, oh, so I can't fly, I can't be a pilot. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Then that Marine Corps kicked in, and I lost all that weight, and it was zone in. It took like a year and a half, and you lock in. But when you think about that lock in, man, that's life. And the only issue is I noticed that people don't understand, and you can't get it by words. I can't explain it to you. I can't show you how to do it. There's nothing I can do. The only thing you can see me, but one day it's almost like I don't know how old you are, but you know the Rocky movie, and the music starts kicking in, and I mean he wakes up and realizes that okay, I could do this. That's where it really is, like, and it really is something like that. You just happen to lock in one day, and everything, no matter what falls apart, no matter what, like this morning, yesterday was bad. It was snowing, it was cold as hell, and I still woke up and took myself to that gym. And man, and if you know anything about me, I hate going to the gym,
Yeah.
but I'm up
Yeah.
at 5 a.m. every day. And I hate going. And people's like, I cannot believe you wake up at 5 a.m. or 4:35 a.m. And I want to tell them, there's not one effing day that I wake up and I'm happy that I woke up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. There's not one day. So I just do it because I know it has to be done, you know?
Absolutely, man. And like that, I think Mike Tyson spoke about this in a podcast where he was like, you know, discipline is doing something that you hate like you love it, you know, which, you know, you get up at 4:30, 4 in the morning, and, you know, people might even have that perception of you because it's like you do it like, you know, like it's enjoyable, but it's not. It's never fun going to do things that we don't want to do. But as men, you know, we kind of, you know, push ourselves to do those things. And the benefits come later, you know what I mean? And sometimes like I've seen what you're talking about where people you don't find yourself in success. You tend to find yourself in the darkness. You know, that's where you really get a grasp of who you are as a man, as a person. You know, you figure out these things like what am I capable of, you know? And it's those things that like you could even tell when you're looking at somebody, like have they been through something, you know? It's something very light in the way that they talk. It's almost like empathy a little bit of where like they're understand where you could kind of look at somebody and be like, oh, okay, like I could only tell you, like I have to tell you my day was good. I can't really speak real to
Yeah.
you, you
Yeah.
know?
Scare you. Yeah. You don't
Yeah,
even know you're successful until somebody tells you you are. Like, even I was telling somebody on another podcast who you talk like hitting your first million. Man, you could hit 2 million in a year and you don't even know you hit the first one. And when you hit the first million, there's no there's no bell that rings, there's no siren that goes off. You're matter of fact, if you hit 2 million for the first time in business, you're in an effing grind of your life. Matter of fact, your hand is on the tail of a dragon and you are getting your ass drugged across the whole world and you're out of control. I went to the cigar lounge last night and it was like around maybe 6:37. I want to say maybe 6:37. And I have my private pilot's license and so now I'm getting my IFR license where I can fly in the clouds because I'm buying a Cirrus SR-20. And it's a badass airplane. And
that's
so in order
awesome.
to get insured for the Cirrus, I have to have these IFR. So here I am, walking to the cigar lounge, 6:30. Everybody's watching the game or chilling on the side. I walk over to the back corner. The owner knows that I go over there and study, so he was like, "Man, turn off the music over here. Wayne has come over here studying." So I'm studying, doing my thing, and like 3 hours later, I pop out, and they're like, "Dude, what's going on?" And one of the guys said, "He said, man, you are like the most hardest working dude I've ever met." He was like, "Dude, you're gonna be like the first billionaire that I ever met." And I'm gonna tell you what. That happened yesterday. And you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna be a billionaire now. Like he kind of locked something in my head. Like, man, I'm never really man, ain't no way I can be a billionaire. But now he sort of hit me like, yeah, I can be a billionaire because I have on like you can't see it, but my camera here, I have by 2030, 125 million in sales is the goal for 230. So the most I've done so far is 2.7 million. I've changed the game because now I own a business and I'm not a designer anymore. So now I see and understand what I'm going after. But I guess that's what it takes. I didn't even think I was working. I was just studying because I know I got to pass this test because I got to get this airplane and I got to make sure I can get insured. Like that's what's on my mind. It's not no work or nothing like that. And they're like, there's like five of them. They're like, dude, like you're like the hardest working dude we've ever seen. Blah blah blah. Because obviously they probably don't work after 5:36, and to see somebody still pushing like that, knowing I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and worked out, I guess it's new to them. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and why not? You know,
Yeah,
if you made your first million, you know, what's the difference? It's just a scale issue at that point. You know,
yeah.
you already know how to make money. It's just why sometimes you talk to these millionaires, billionaires, and they're like, dude, if I lost it all tomorrow, I know how to make it back because like I already know the knowledge of if you make one, you can make 10. And so, but that thing that you have, man, it's I think it's in everybody, but it's very rare that somebody actually like is able to bring it out to the surface because it is very difficult. It's something that you need to. Sometimes people are blessed by having gone through hard things, but they almost have to go through that, and other people just like you said, they get inspired by something. But yeah, I could see that where you don't even realize when you make your first benchmark, your first 100,000, your first 500, your first million, there is nobody to tell you what to do. And a lot of the times, depending on where you live, the people around you, they're not even happy. They're
Oh,
like almost jealous. It's
that's a
like
whole nother podcast, bro. Like, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Oh
I
my
see.
God. Like your upbringing, your family, your cousins. Matter of fact, your entire family will not even tell you that you're doing well or doing great. And then everybody tries to find something wrong. And what like they'll look at like I still have this now. They'll actually go through my podcast and go through my stuff and they will find something that offended them. And instead of saying, hey, congratulations, Duane, you're working your butt off, because they don't. Here's the thing that people don't realize is nobody knows the demons that I deal with when I go to bed at night. Nobody knows that sometimes um, I have to drink all weekend just to because now I'm home all weekend. I'm not at work. I don't have work to hide it. So there's sometimes I used to have to drink all weekend to hide it all. And nobody knows that I had to heal myself from that. I had to wake up one day and say, okay, hey, dude, you got to chill out. I had to heal myself from that. Nobody knows that when you lay down at night, I have to go into an instant meditation and try to my best to stay in that meditation for a good 30 minutes just to clear out all of the because you're dealing with you're being black, you're dealing with your family doesn't support you, your community doesn't support you. Even when you step up on the scene, all the other big name architects and whoever, they're trying to figure out who you are, they're trying to pick you apart. I mean, it's a and don't, God forbid, don't run out of money and owe somebody. Holy shit. I mean, that attack, it's matter of fact, the biggest attacks come from the smallest bill that you owe. You owe somebody $1,500, they will damn near blow your building up. Like you owe somebody 200 grand, they just go to court. But if you owe somebody 1,500, oh my God, they will kill you. Like it's crazy, and they're in the worst situation you're in. You put them in the game and make their lives better, but yet something goes wrong, they attack. So people don't realize what this position entails. Like I've put so many guys in the game, like I've changed people's lives, and where they were, I mean, I had one guy where I made him his first million. Think about it. My business made him his first million. And
Wow.
we had an issue where everything got chaotic. I became the enemy. Bro, like,
No appreciation, man.
yeah, you
That's
made your first million. Where's the thanks?
Dude, I see it so often, man. It's hard, man, because even when you're mentioned, like sometimes I've been in that place too, where every weekend I'm doing shit that I shouldn't be doing, and it's like like people don't realize that some of the things you're doing, like going to the gym in the morning, it's to fight that off. You might have to cancel on one of your friends because that they want to go out drinking because they're living their life and they don't have these issues, but like the second you don't go because you're trying to fix that issue and you're like, no, I need to do this because you don't know what's going to happen to me for the next 3 weeks if I don't do this, but all of a sudden you're the bad guy. Like people don't understand, they don't even care to take a look into like what you're really going through, and so it's a lonely process, man.
Yeah,
And
my wife is my
success is
buddy. My wife is my buddy. We've been at it for like 23 years. So we're normally always together, hanging out. Like we even um this week we'll probably be driving together to work almost every day of the week. Maybe one day tomorrow. I got some meetings, so I'll drive my car. But most of the time we just take one car and we hang out. Some days it be crazy. Some days it's an argument and we ain't saying shit together. Some days we can't stop talking to each other. But somehow we end up always having lunch together. Or matter of fact, this whole camera issue was because she blew the battery in the camera, and so I had to grab another computer and set it all up. But that's my buddy, man. Like we're always arguing about something, we're laughing about something. I mean, we just have so much fun together. Like I was looking at her the other day, like, dude, I really got lucky to navigate this thing of life with you. You know what I mean? With her. So I really got lucky. And some days she takes me up a wall, like, man, please, God. But then the next day she does something where I'm like, man, that's my dog. That's my ride or die, you know? She's just my
You,
people's, you know?
oh, you don't even know how much that hits home. I
Yeah.
just,
Like,
I know exactly what you mean, man, because it's like, somebody told me once, they were like, the person you choose, it, like whether it's them or somebody else, it's always going to be those issues. But like, if you find someone that, like, whether you're upset or whatever, you're just willing to rock through that, like that's life. That's love, is finding somebody that, regardless of what you're going through in the moment, whatever they're going through, how mad you are at each other, is just that commitment. It's almost like a job in itself, to maintain that.
mhm.
But it's worth it. It's worth it because you find that person. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. She's just my
And
people. We gotta have some therapy because there is some shit she gotta stop doing. Just doing this
oh,
shit.
oh, I could make a podcast about that, bro.
She's gonna listen to podcasts.
you, you just got to turn my camera on in like 2 hours. Start recording my car rides. It'll be its own content, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Speaking of which, it's actually my 3-year anniversary with my girl.
Congratulations.
So we're gonna,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you, man.
congrats, congrats. 20
It
more
should
years.
be fun, man. Wow, that's beautiful, man. Any insight on that, on the length of time of, what?
Man. Dude, like there's so many. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I could give a married advice to anybody because I was probably most of the so I was probably a horrible husband until I figure out how to be a good one. As much as I complained about her, I was probably the horrible husband. I think one day I woke up like, okay, just be nice. Like, stop being so fucked up. Treat her nice. Buy her
They
some,
wear you out.
yeah,
They wear you
buy her some shit. Stop being so mean. Damn.
out. They play a game of attrition, dude. I already lost it.
Probably a horrible husband. Like I had to get my shit together. But you know, you're never taught as a man. But like I said, that's a whole another episode. You know, you're never taught as a man on how to be. You know, you just figured out, and they already figured out. Like the day we got married, she already knew. She had her plans together. She just hanging out waiting for me to one day to figure it out. I just happened to figure out like a year ago. Out of 23 years, I figured it out a year ago. I'm decent.
she, she. Sometimes I wonder too how my girl puts up with me, dude. It's a blessing.
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
they have patience, but in like a different sense than we do.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, listen, man, it's awesome, and I'm glad to see you, doing successfully with this company. I
Thank
mean,
you, man.
you're obviously in a really good spot, man, and you're all, as far as business owners of people I've talked to, I really enjoy your energy, man.
Thank you. Thank
Straightforward. You definitely got things going on, and it's been a pleasure, man. Is there anything that you want to let people know of, how to reach you, where to go?
Website, VizX Design Studios, www.vizxdesign.com. I actually run two Instagrams. I run a VizX Instagram and I run a personal Instagram. It doesn't matter which one because I do a lot of personal posts too because I love flying. And so one of my buddies was like, dude, he said, are you a landscape company or are you a pilot? Which one are you? Because I pretty much show more flying. Like how do you know a pilot is in the room? Just be quiet. He'll tell you. You know what I mean? So it's just it's I don't care what anybody says. It's a college degree, and they can say what they want. I'll argue with people who went to college for bachelors. I have a bachelor's if you're a pilot's degree. It's crazy. The training you got to go through to become a pilot. It's not a joke. It is serious. And pilots are not even funny, dude. They're boring as hell. You tell a joke and they'll decipher the joke. Like, hold up, motherfucker, that was a joke, dude. That was a joke. Like, they're so horrible to be around. And then I'm always clowning, so it doesn't work. Like, I gotta stop and tell them the reason for my joke. I'm like, it's not funny anymore, you know. And then they get mad because it's not funny now. But
It's never good when you have to
yeah,
explain a joke.
Instagram, Duane Draughon. My wife's company is Loud Whisper. If you pull up Isabel Drawn Loud Whisper, you'll see her pop up. Just we're out here, man. I'm always trying to help give people nuggets. Even you and I, like if we're friends, we're in a book club. You mean I'm always reading? I'm not like Oprah, but I'm like the male version of Oprah. So if you and I are texting back and forth, I'm that annoying friend. If I have you loaded in my phone, you're like, I wish this guy would stop. You're gonna get marketed to, okay? Because I'm always promoting something, and you're gonna get some books. And if you don't read the books, I'm gonna know because I'm gonna send you message like, hey man, what do you think about that book? Like, hey, bro, I didn't read it yet. Like, hey, I sent it to you for a reason because I normally pick books accordingly to your personality. You know what I mean? So if I send you a book, I expect you to stop everything you're doing and reading it right now because I'm already three or four books ahead of you. So I just need you to get on top of this shit and get it done. So that's how I do with all my friends. My friends, they love and hate me because I'm intense. I'm pushing everybody across the line.
Definitely clearing my calendar, bro. Because I'm,
And we can all
I'm
get it,
down.
bro.
But
We can people everybody listening to this, if they wake up one day and just say, I'm gonna go get it, like I literally started the paver patio business with $18. And we made $6 million with that. And I
that's
Uber
incredible.
drove to get this business off the ground. And like I said, that year I was like at 64,000. And the next year I did 500,000. The year after that was like 1.4. And I was an Uber driver. So think about
Yo,
it. Think
for
about what
every
all the
Uber
other Uber
driver
drivers.
listening,
Think about all the Uber drivers who were sitting in the airport watching me drive my white Passat in there and just like, man, I hated the shit. And now to hear that this dude is turning 2 million, $2+ million a year. Think about that.
that's one of the most impactful things about something like this is that you could see people that like sometimes in our community we don't have people that we could even see like a model of success. So to see that it's that's why the internet, YouTube's beautiful thing, man.
I can't believe it. And then I honestly I sort of lost it. I got it and lost it and had to rebuild it again. It was almost like I was running the marathon. And I got to the finish line, and as soon as I got to the finish line, dude hit me up, say, "Hey man, you crossed that little spot at mile 16. You got to run back and start all over again." That's how it felt. Like, damn, whoa! Like I wanted to quit. Like, oh God, please, like what? And then you go through, why me? Why me? Why me, God? And God just looked at you, stop being a bitch and just go. You know what I mean? That's the Marine Corps way. Stop, just go. None of this is fair. And it's always an uphill battle, and it's always going to be hard. The moment you fucking accept that, it is what it is. My bad for dropping F bombs. I know I'm breaking the rules, but it is what.
You're good, man. And listen, man, that fairness thing is something that I not so many people get stuck on it. Like I shouldn't have to do that. This shouldn't happen at this job. Like this isn't supposed to go this way. It's like it does. Some people are born with 2 years to live. It's like you said, life isn't fair. And I think that's one of the best key takeaways that you could take from this, man.
Yeah.
It's possible, and it's not always fair, but you got to accept it.
Yeah, I'll
You
let you
know.
go to the podcast, and then you got into two things. Actually, I like that one. I never thought about that. Life isn't fair, and then one of my number one rules that I live by, and I have some other ones, but one of the number ones is proximity is power. You cannot be a millionaire if you don't know what a life of a millionaire is. So if you don't have a millionaire in your phone that you could call up, or you can take the lunch and you can ask questions to have them throw you up on $1 million game, there's no way you're going to be able to become a millionaire. It can't, it's just not going to happen. So proximity's power, man. Who you around is who you become. You got to find some dope ass people to be around. If your boys sitting back drinking, smoking weed, not doing shit every day, it's just easy to stop. Just stop hanging with them. They're not you. Love them to death, love them from a distance, and let them see you blow up when you start hanging around them nerdy motherfuckers. Like you've never seen the flyboy driving the Corvette or the BMW. It's always that nerdy looking motherfucker. Always.
Yep. Yep. That's I think a beautiful insight of how this works, man, because even in the business that I'm in, could have never happened without that. So
No.
thank you, bro, for everything, for your insight, for your time. I appreciate you. If you guys see Duane on Instagram, shout him out. And where are you located so they know
In
where?
Illinois area. We're in the Chicago, Illinois area, but we design and manage to build all over the country.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So all over United States.
Yeah, our average project is around 150 to anywhere from 150 to 500K is sort of our sweet spot. And so normally if we do total renovations, total gut renovations of the house and backyard and everything. We'll even do some home remodeling too if it works.
Beautiful. So you guys know where to find him. Thanks for tuning in. And Duane, thank you, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for having me here.